Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert. Alright everyone, time for another Geekorama Starship model video. In this one, I'm just going to show you my Constitution class tactical variant combat cruiser, which would be about the 2290s. So just gonna show you what I used to build this model. So the saucer section is actually right here. This is for a stool stopper. Put on the bottom of the stool so it won't scratch your floor. And the pylons for the nacelles right here are just a wire crimp harness. So I use this for the pylons to mount the nacelles. And the secondary nacelle, that is a bin pick cover. Now for the nacelles themselves, this is a mechanical pencil. And when you take it apart, the inside tube that holds the lead, you can use a razor blade to create these into nacelles. So this right here is the front of the nacelle. I might have cut part of it off, and for whatever reason, this one I used the eraser to extend the nacelle. Maybe I made the nacelles too short and added it on. But yeah, so this inside of a mechanical pencil right here is perfect for nacelles. Of course, you need a razor blade to cut them apart. I need a razor blade to do all of these homemade model build productions, homemade model kits, whatever they should be called. And for the deflector dish section right here, this is actually the outer portion of the mechanical pencil. You just cut off, and then I added that to the big pin cover to make the deflector module. And then the front of the big cover here, that is a phaser array. And then right here, this is from some type of pin, I believe. So I just put the pin tip right on the front of the bottom of the secondary nacelle, which is a big pin. So I guess I forgot to turn on the light for the first one. So this is the ventral section, and those two torpedo tubes, those are actually the inside of a dried out ink tube for the inside of a big pen or some kind of pen. Just when the ink dries out, you can slice it up and use it for torpedo tubes or torpedo banks. So right here for the nacelle supports, this is a toothpick, and toothpicks come in very handy to support the build on parts that needs stabilizing, because the biggest trick is to level out these nacelles so they look level. So that's probably the most difficult part, is leveling the nacelles from both the front and back so they are even. And then, as you can see, this one has a little bit of tilt to it. You can see, stop shaking, hand. You can see I also used a toothpick to level out the pylons, which is the wire crimp harness. Actually, I think, so that is actually a matchstick for the impulse engines, and I think I just glued that on there crooked. The rest of it is straight. And for the bridge module, just used a push pin and cut it off. You got to get the little spiky thing out of there, and then it just cut that part off and turn that into the bridge module. And then there's actually a washer around the top of the saucer section, which is the stool mount pad. And the best thing to make the nacelle colors are those little glitter things you buy, those little circle glitter things, and you can just sometimes they come in different colors, or you can just use a marker to make them whatever color you want. I usually tried to make the warp nacelle colors opposite from the weapons, so you can see the phaser strips are blue on the top and bottom, and with the mega phaser, and then that brain freeze, the deflector cover, that is actually the cap of a mechanical pencil, just a section cut off of it, the little pointy part of the mechanical pencil. So yeah, that's it. There's some other things, there's some more toothpicks. So yeah, it's just a lot of tinkering around. Like I said, it's not the greatest looking model, but it looks like a Starship. Does it look like the Enterprise? To me it does, as best as I could do it. And then the shuttle bay, of course, is the top of the big pin cover. As you can see, it takes a lot of marker skills. I missed a couple spots there with the black markers, so you need a lot of black markers or metallic markers, which for whatever reason are the most finical of markers, because if you, for some reason, normal markers and even the orange and gold metallic markers, they work pretty good, but for some reason the silver metallic markers, if you use them on any type of wrong surface, or I don't know, like if you definitely don't want to use any markers while glue is drying, but for some reason the silver metallic markers, those things just will dry up in a heartbeat. Don't ask me why. Like, I went through more silver metallic markers than any markers. And you always want to have good tip markers, because that'll help you paint these little parts you do, even though it's impossible to, like, if you plan it out, you can actually color all the pieces before you put them on, but sometimes, like, you can see the bottom of the nacelles there, I wasn't able to get a fine enough marker to color that, but you know, it's not really a big deal because it's just a scrap model. You know, scrap model battle version Enterprise, and I guess it's a unregistered ship because it's really tricky to get these things to sit up, because you gotta use usually I just use sections of staples works pretty good for holders on most of these models. But yeah, that's it. Just wanted to make a quick geek model because it's taking forever to make part 2 of the Animatrix Machine War. So yeah, there you go. Definitely cheaper than a 3D printer, cheaper than a model kit, but it takes time, patience, and like I said, it doesn't look the greatest. In general, it looks like the Enterprise somewhat, but if you're going for accuracy and detail, this probably isn't the thing. But if you just want to have fun tinkering around and making homemade models out of scrap parts, it's free. It just takes time. Alright, that's it. Peace out. And Izzy E just wants to say thanks for watching. And everybody subscribe so Izzy E can get, because he gets treats.